Straight into the roof of the net. Nice one. Straight down the middle. So a good performance from both teams here.
Hi and welcome to Firstpost. I'm Rupha Ramani. Let's get started. Right on the show today, what is it like being Gautam Gambhir in that Indian men's cricket dressing room? The team just registered a clean sweep over Bangladesh in the Test series, and they did that with aggressive intent. But what is Gambhir's impact in the dressing room and all of those players? How has it affected each of them? More on that on the show. Mo Salah has no clue whether his contract with Liverpool will be extended. He said there has been no intimation so far, but he continues to deliver, being Liverpool's key asset this season. What will it take for Arne Slot and the management to come around? And over in Formula One, the contest for the top spot has heated up and the competition is open. But the story I get you today, as Max Verstappen's slump this year resulted in a super hike somewhere else. Wait to know more on that. But first, let's take a look at the headlines. Starting with football, Lionel Messi and his club Inter Miami lifted the Major League Soccer Supporters Shield. Inter Miami defeated Columbus Crew 3-2 in the match. Messi scored 2 goals in the first half. Meanwhile, Luis Suarez sealed the game with a third for Inter Miami. In cricket, India's Jasprit Bumrah reclaimed his #1 slot position in Test bowling rankings. Bumrah dethroned his compatriot Ravindra Ashwin. The rise to top comes on the back of his performance against Bangladesh in the Test series. Bumrah picked up 11 wickets in 2 matches. Over in the Champions League in football, Real Madrid suffered a crushing defeat against French club Lille. They ended Madrid's 36-match unbeaten run after securing a 1-0 victory. Despite Kylian Mbappe coming off the bench, Madrid failed to secure a win here. Real Madrid last lost a match in January 2-4 to Atletico Madrid in the Copa del Rey. Atletico Madrid, meanwhile, has been ordered to shut down a part of its stadium. The punishment will go for 3 of the club's home matches. Fans will not be allowed in one of the stands that has about 5,000 seats. The ban is because Atletico fans threw objects at Real Madrid footballers in the Madrid derby. And wrapping it up with some more news from cricket, Sri Lanka cricketer Praveen Jayavikrama has been banned from all forms of cricket for a year. The ban was imposed over failing to report being approached for match fixing. The ICC found him guilty of corruption. Out of the year-long ban, 6 months have been pardoned after Jayavikrama accepted the allegations. The Indian men's cricket team came back from what looked like a test heading towards a draw to nail one of the most compelling wins in Test cricket over Bangladesh. Yes, it came against a side that has not been as competitive as some of the other top teams, but just about everyone is talking on the manner in which this India side executed that win. With almost 3 days going with little to no play, India desperately needed to force a result to keep their plans for a spot in the final of the World Test Championship alive and under control. And they did that perfectly well. One man who needs to be credited for this is their new head coach, Gautam Gambhir. Now, we all have seen the player Gautam Gambhir over the years, but the best part about this transition from on the field to the coach behind the scenes has been absolutely brilliant. He's managed to combine his aggressive intent, his desire to win, with a sense of calm. So says the dressing room itself. I'll explain. He's been clinical in his approach, and this test against Bangladesh is a great example of that. Like the way India came out batting in their first innings. This is not to say India has never had that kind of a flair before Gambhir took charge. We've seen many flamboyant batters in the Indian cricket scene. But this test really set down the template. It was a collective effort, a vision in a sense, and it came from the top. The support staff, the coaching staff, in fact, spoke about Gambhir's belief and how he instilled the attack mode in that dressing room, along with Rohit Sharma, the skipper, for day 4. In fact, we spoke about Roball some days ago, going by the intensity that he showed from ball one. But here's the other buzzword doing the rounds now.
I was seeing some posts about Gamball. Someone had shared something about it, which was interesting.
Hoax of baseball is gone, one of those tweets says, but it's not just about being aggressive all the time. Gambhir has been a champion in mixing that emotion up with being calm, keeping everyone secure, happy and relaxed. Ashwin even came up with a cool nickname for the new coach while speaking to the host broadcaster.
I think he is very relaxed. I want to call him Relaxed Rancho. There is no pressure at all. In the morning, there will be a team huddle. He is very relaxed about that as well. He will be like, "Are you coming? Please come." It's like that.
And there's also a distinct shift in the way this dressing room is now being led. Rahul Dravid, the previous coach, had a different hand, a little more ordered and regimented in some ways. That worked too, but this one seems to be a little different and a bit refreshing. So says our Ashwin himself.
With Rahul Bhai, he wanted things in order. Even a bottle should be kept at a particular place at a particular time. He is very regimented. He wanted things in order.
And of course, he goes on to say that Gautam Gambhir is a little different. We've established that so far. That has to be, in fact, for me, the biggest takeaway from this first test series for Gambhir in charge. How he's managed to touch every player's lives there and make it a little better. The first example that comes to mind has to be that of Virat Kohli. He's had a very average series, hasn't really dominated this, especially at home, but he was in such great spirits. He was laughing and smiling and gave Gautam Gambhir a big hug right after that win, a picture that broke the internet. The same for, say, a KL Rahul as well, who came into this test under immense pressure. He needed confidence. He needed some big runs under his belt. And the way he constructed that very crucial knock, that very, very important, almost looked like a cameo, but was far more significant in that first innings, was fabulous to watch. Clearly, his times with Gautam Gambhir over in the Lucknow franchise in the Indian Premier League setup probably helped. It's these individual contributions that really come together to make a team look absolutely beast-like. Summed up quite aptly by Tamim Iqbal, who was on the commentary panel for this series from Bangladesh.
This is the difference of the mentality of a champion team and a team who has not been very successful in international cricket. India took the attacking way and it was backed heavily by the management and the captain.
New Zealand now, with that horrific loss to Sri Lanka in the series recently, will be wary of the monster that Team India is, whom they will be up against next. At stake, of course, is the World Test Championship. We've been going on about it quite a bit here. On one hand is a solid team that has hit the ground running despite a change in hands, the coaching staff, a new set of people coming over and taking on a team that is going through a transition phase with Tim Southee stepping down as captain. There is much to witness in this space in the months to come. Currently, the best view any team has in Europe is Liverpool. No, not from Merseyside, but from where they sit on the points table, right at the top, number one in Premier League and in the top half of the Champions League too. Yesterday's 2-0 win over Bologna was their second in as many matches in the tournament. And given the way Liverpool is performing, their view is only likely to get better. The biggest reason for this, the heartbeat of the Reds, and someone who continues to do so even when there is heavy uncertainty hanging over his future in the club. Of course, I'm speaking about Mo Salah. In a packed Bologna stadium against first-timers in the Champions League, Mohamed Salah proved his merit once again. The Egyptian made the night all about him, a clear message to Liverpool chiefs and Arne Slot in particular. Because Salah's contract runs out this season and there has been no attempts made to extend that. Mo Salah, of course, showing Arne Slot that without him, Liverpool is shades duller. An assist to put Liverpool ahead in the first half, and then he followed it up with a stunning trademark finish to settle the contest. And Bologna didn't make it easy for Liverpool, though. Despite leading right through the match, Bologna had more chances to steal at least a draw from Liverpool. If it wasn't for Salah's left foot, Liverpool might not have gotten away with those 3 points.
He's a player that helps us a lot. Sometimes it looks like he's not in the game, but suddenly a perfect touch. He puts the ball in the top corner. That's his quality, his strength as well. We are lucky to have him.
Allison says Liverpool is lucky to have Salah, but for how long can this sentiment keep going? Because Salah's contract expires in less than a year. And despite the speculations of Salah's move to Saudi, the Egyptian has expressed his desire to stay at Liverpool quite a few times before this. The only problem, neither the Liverpool management nor the new boss Arne Slot looked too keen to extend his contract. Listen in.
Mo has done really well today, and I'm happy with the way he does at the moment. And I'm not looking forward to next season.
Now, despite Salah being the best player on the pitch yesterday, Arne Slot seems to be evading that question over the future. Now, I understand that with a new manager comes a new vision, but giving away a star player doesn't really say perfect strategy now, does it? Because it's not just the one-off Champions League performances. Salah has been the one taking Liverpool to victories in Premier League too. In 7 matches across all tournaments, Salah has scored 5 times and assisted on 6 occasions. He's the one scoring and assisting for Liverpool, proving that he isn't just someone who has done it for Liverpool in the past, but also somebody who continues to do the same. And all of this, despite consistently sending these messages and doing so when there is a confusion over that contract. And in spite of all of this happening, that matter of that contract refuses to die down, especially at a time when Liverpool is in a transition phase. Not too long ago, Slot took over when one of the most celebrated managers in Liverpool's history, Jurgen Klopp, resigned. A man who helped Liverpool clinch a league title after 30 years. The man who brought back the glory days and made Liverpool what it is today.
It does say a lot about how Jurgen left this club, the squad I inherited, the work rate the players put in, and how much my staff is helping me to get these results. But I hope to be remembered for more special things than winning 8 out of the first 9.
The Slot himself agrees the squad he inherited has been crucial in their recent success. And rightly so, he inherited a squad that won the Champions League and Premier League titles not too long ago. A squad that has been challenging Manchester City and Arsenal for Premier League titles every season. And the man who's been at the focal point of all of this has been Mo Salah. Players like Mohamed Salah are like family heirloom, someone who's meant to be passed down through generations, not shown the exit door. That's definitely what Klopp believed. So the smart thing for Liverpool to do would be to keep Salah as long as possible and as long as he's delivering, because why fix something that isn't broken? They already have a player who's scoring, still in his prime, just needs a contract extension. If you ask Manchester City, will they risk losing Erling Haaland? Or will Arsenal think of letting go of Bukayo Saka? Maybe Slot needs to just take a leaf from the mistakes Liverpool's biggest rival, Manchester United, and their manager Erik ten Hag made. They forced Cristiano Ronaldo out, thinking he was the problem. There too, the manager thought United would be better off without Ronaldo. But we all know how that panned out. Ronaldo is shining in Al Nassr across the seas, and United are struggling. Something that Arne Slot wouldn't want at his time at the helm at Liverpool. As he said, he wants to do incredible things with this club, but will it be possible without Salah next year? And is that truly what the management and Slot is heading towards? Now, a team's domination for an extended period in a sport is great for the fans, but does it do enough for the sport? Where is the rivalry and the sense of an enticing contest? Formula One witnessed just that for a while, with Verstappen and Red Bull's domination for the past 3 years, creating a bit of a drab affair. In simpler terms, rather predictable and dull. But with Verstappen experiencing a bit of a slump in the current season, the biggest gains have been now for Formula One. Verstappen not winning has made some people very happy, particularly the US Grand Prix organizers. They seem to be the happiest now because ticket sales for US Grand Prix scheduled later this month has seen a major spike thanks to Max's slump.
Our ticket sales really took off when Max stopped winning, and it got more competitive.
The biggest credit goes to Lando Norris and McLaren, of course. Despite McLaren sabotaging their own chances by allowing Oscar Piastri to overtake Lando Norris a few times this year, Norris has managed to bridge the gap between him and Verstappen in the drivers' standings. Only 52 points separate him with second-placed Verstappen now. If Norris continues to grab points and Verstappen continues to lose, we might indeed see a new winner this year. And over in the constructors' standings, McLaren is already ahead. They have the lead. Red Bull is losing in that team competition. And all of this has got fans very excited. With only 6 races pending, the quest for both titles will become even more intense with each race weekend because Verstappen has failed to win a race since the Spanish Grand Prix triumph in June. So at the US Grand Prix, he will have to push hard. A massive comeback challenge for the Dutch. And there's another reason why fans were getting all excited, of course. Verstappen's dip has not only led to a fierce sense of competition between the other drivers, of course against him, but has also opened the doors to some controversies. I'll explain. Because of this turn of events, it's not just Norris or Oscar Piastri who are gunning for victories, but other teams coming in too, which is resulting in some friction between teams and players, giving spectators and watchers more fodder and controversies to consume, like the fallout in the Ferrari camp when Carlos Sainz and Charles Leclerc almost collided at the Spanish Grand Prix, or a frustrated Red Bull blaming Ferrari for the Carlos Sainz and Sergio Perez crash at the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. And if these haven't got fans talking, then Verstappen being handed community service by the FIA for uttering profanity certainly has. And then, of course, there are emotional factors too, like Lewis Hamilton racing his very last season with Mercedes. A chapter will close there, and a big, long, entertaining one. And then, of course, the entertainment factor coming into that is getting a lot of buzz around the US Grand Prix. The circuit will be hosting the concert of American rapper Eminem after the sprint race on Saturday. So maybe a lot of the crowd coming in for the show after the showdown on Saturday.
We're expecting another big crowd. Probably it's somewhere in where it's been the last couple years. I would think whatever the record is for a Saturday sprint race, we should shatter that record because Eminem has outsold Taylor Swift, and we've increased the size of the infield lawn to get to near 100,000 for the concert.
But here's what I'm imagining, and I would paint that picture for you too. FIA President Mohamed Ben Sulayem just recently made a flippant statement about Formula One drivers, saying foul language was a no-go on the F1 circuit, and that F1 drivers weren't rappers who abused every minute. I'm trying to picture him grooving to Eminem over the race weekend. But one thing is sure, a spectacle awaits everyone at the US Grand Prix, a drama fitting the land of Hollywood. Time for last serve. Afghanistan's sporting culture may be in shambles, but the country's first ever qualification for Futsal World Cup is inspiring the next generation, leading to more youngsters taking up the sport. Take a look. A silver lining that in an otherwise dour sporting landscape that we witness in Afghanistan. But that wraps up Firstpost.